How did you meet Sinatra? Like, how did you guys become friends?
Well, I met Sinatra through an old friend of mine, Dennis Stein, who was one of his old friends. You know that name?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows Dennis Stein.
I know. God rest his soul.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right. And then Eliot and I met through Frank and Barbara, and we became friends. And then when I moved down to Florida, Eliot and his wife Maria were always sort of based out of Florida, and we reconnected. And we were sitting around talking a couple of times. We had dinner, and we were telling Sinatra stories. And I'm like, Eliot, you have to write a book. I mean, this is crazy. You have so many great things. And so that journey started like 12 years ago, and then we kind of put it away and picked it back up, and now here it is.
We put it away so you could have a couple of kids.
So, Eliot, what was it like managing Frank Sinatra?
Or do you even manage Frank Sinatra?
Well, you can, because he was so good. He was a perfectionist, and if you got it right, that's all he wanted. So,
yeah, but you know, I mean, not only was he a talented singer, but you know, he had a very active personal life too. Vegas, how did you keep him in check? Because he loved to hang out with that Brat Pack and lots of the call girls and stuff like that.
By the time I got involved with him, which was 1977, most of those call girl stories didn't happen. He was happily married to Barbara, and to be honest with you, I never saw another lady with him after that.
Really? That's good to know. There was a period, though, in the book where you talk about that he was a little low on cash, and you had to kind of rein him in a little bit.
Well, it was a question of trying to make more than he was going to spend. And the challenge is that as he was getting older, how do you plan for 2, 3, 4 years moving forward to give him enough cash flow to keep it up?
And no, go ahead.
He took care of so many people, and he was so generous. I mean, he was such a champion of the underdog, as Eliot loves to say. And Eliot has so many stories about, they'd go through town and he'd read about a firefighter or somebody that was down on their luck, and he'd anonymously send them out checks. So he was a huge spender and very generous with everybody, right? And that really was the challenge.
The bottom line, he was the champion of the underdog.
And there's so many stories that have never been told before, you know, that you felt, I suppose, this was the right time to share, where we get a real glimpse of things that we didn't know about Frank Sinatra as well. So it was important for you to get that out? Well,
it was important for me to get those stories out that I either heard or saw myself. The important thing about this book, it's not a research book. This is the way it was.
It's life.
Jen, tell us your favorite Frank Sinatra story.
Well, there's so many favorite stories that I have that Eliot told, but one of the crazy things I think was that he trusted Eliot so much that not only was Eliot his manager, but he ultimately became the sole executor to his estate. So Eliot's work for the Sinatra family went on long after Frank passed away. And one of the crazy things that happened in the very end was, just as they were settling the estate, this mystery woman showed up calling herself Julie Sinatra, and, you know, pick it up. I mean,
well, the estate was supposed to close. I didn't even go out to California. I was comfortably on the golf course in Florida. When I came off, got a call that we'd have a problem. And I said, well, what's that? And they said, well, somebody showed up claiming to be his daughter, Julie Sinatra. I said, are you guys crazy? I mean, how could this be? I didn't even bother going out there. I says, well, you know, try and find out what she wants and what the deal is here, and call me back. And if you have a picture, please send it to me. And when I received that picture, I almost fell over.
Why, did it look like him?
Yeah.
So
well, hey, listen, you know, I'm not a DNA specialist, but the picture convinced me that I better settle this very quickly.
Wow. What about Ronan Farrow? One last, you know, because there was all of a sudden this a son that Frank Sinatra had with Mia Farrow.
If I was a betting man,
yes,
I would bet 99% that that's not true, because that was absolutely in the realm of my management days, and I know, I mean, there's just no way that
happened.
Didn't matter that he had blue eyes.
Although
Although Frank did advise me on the divorce.
Yeah, Woody Allen.
All right.
Yes.
The Woody Allen, how to handle
Running
Woody
out
Allen.
of time.
Yeah,
we'll
but-
continue to talk about
but
this in a
that-
commercial.
It's a
the book.
fascinating
We had to get you
book.
back.